as I became more comfortable with them and realized that I wasn't going to cross over, that I was always going to be able to come back, I started exploring more. I started going outside my room and around the house and around my neighborhood. And probably, although I can't really remember because I was a teenager at the time, probably around 15, I started traveling to a higher place. I met up with a guide, who I would call a guide, who took me to a place where I saw what happened when people crossed over. And the first thing that I learned is how the most wonderful, overwhelming feeling of peace and love and serenity and harmony and anything wonderful. You never feel bad for anybody who's on the other side. It really is the ones who are left behind. Right. It really is. Second thing was, I was about 14 years old. I saw my grandparents, my dad's parents, and my grandmother had only been gone about 6 months at that time, and both of them suffered for quite a bit of time in a nursing home. So saw them on the other side, and they looked like my grandparents, but they were healthy, and I thought, you know what, this isn't it. We survived this. Yeah. We survived death. You know, we go to a better place. I think it's quite common for us to have out-of-body experiences. There's probably a handful of people in here who've had one or two, but they were trying to show me something. They were trying to show me something, so so when they stopped, I went back to the bank part-time, and the intuition phase kicked in, and I just knew everything. All this information started coming at me. Now, I worked in Canada Trust in Sunridge Mall, so I could not see the parking lot from where I was. And I would think of a client, and moments later, they'd walk in the door. And I used to work with this girl, Val, and I was like, Val, watch this. I would write down, Mr. Johnson. I'd go, wait. And moments later, he'd walk in the door, and she'd go, how'd you do that? I was like, I don't know, but I can. I was like, I have no idea, but I just know that. I was like, she goes, do it again. I said, okay, I know I can. Right? And I'd wait, and I'd write Mrs. Smith, and I'd be like, wait for it. And minutes later, she'd walk in the door, and we'd be laughing at her, and she's like, what? And I was like, see, I don't know. And I had no idea. I had no idea that was. I just was picking up all kinds of random, useless information. And that sort of went on for about 12 years. 12 years just picking up different pieces of information.